Hey, how y'all doing today? Jonathan here. How y'all doing this morning? It's about almost 8:30 in the morning, so being as it is a Columbus Day weekend, I'm assuming most of you are probably still sleeping right now unless you're stuck working. Me personally, I always gotta, unwind a couple hours after I get off. Third shift is really stellar, I'll tell you. There's something, a couple days ago, I got a forwarded email from my aunt, and I thought I'd like to read it to you guys today. It's a letter written by Ben Stein. For those of you who don't know Ben Stein, he does all the Clear Eyes commercials. He was also on Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the teacher. Bueller. Y'all know what I mean. He also had a game show on Comedy Central a couple years back called Win Ben Stein's Money. What most of you might not know about him is he's also pretty much a genius when it comes to politics and economics. He does a lot of talk shows and stuff, and a lot of news shows. But yeah, this is a letter. Not sure who he wrote it to, but he recited it on CBS Sunday morning. I guess it's a talk show. I've personally never seen it, but it's about God. But don't worry, whether you're Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, whatever, or even if you're an atheist, I really think a lot of you appreciate this. Trust me on this. I didn't always believe in God myself, but like I said, this is a letter by Ben Stein, so I'm going to have to read for you. It says, "My confession. I am a Jew, and every single one of my ancestors was a Jew, and it does not bother me even a little bit when people call those beautiful lit up, bejeweled trees Christmas trees. I don't feel threatened. I don't feel discriminated against. That's what they are, Christmas trees. It doesn't bother me a bit when people say Merry Christmas to me. I don't think that they are slighting me or getting ready to put me in a ghetto. In fact, I kind of like it. It shows that we're all brothers and sisters celebrating this happy time of year. It doesn't bother me at all that there is a major scene displayed at a key intersection near my beach house in Malibu. If people wanted to crush, I guess, it's just fine with me, as is the menorah a few hundred yards away. I don't like getting pushed around for being a Jew. I don't think Christians like getting pushed around for being Christians. I think people who believe in God are sick and tired of getting pushed around, period. I have no idea where the concept came from that America is an explicitly atheist country. I can't find it in the Constitution, and I don't like being shoved down my throat. I don't like it being shoved down my throat. Or maybe we could put it another way. Where did the idea come from that we should worship celebrities and we aren't allowed to worship God? But as we understand Him, I guess that's the sign that we are getting older. I guess it's a sign that I'm getting too old. But there are a lot of us who are wondering where these celebrities came from and where the America we knew went to. In light of the many jokes we send to one another for a laugh, this is a little different. This is not intended to be a joke. It's not funny. It is intended to get you thinking. Billy Graham's daughter was interviewed on the Early Show, and Jane Clayson asked her, how could God let something like this happen? This referring to the Katrina incident. Annie Graham gave an extremely profound and insightful response. She said, I believe God is deeply saddened by this, just as we are, but for years now we've been telling God to get out of our schools, to get out of our government, and to get out of our lives. And being the gentleman He is, I believe that He calmly stepped back. Now, how can we expect God to give us His blessing and His protection if we demand He leave us alone? In light of recent events, terrorist attacks, school shootings, etc., I think it started when Maylene Murphy O'Hara was murdered. Maylene Murphy O'Hara. She was murdered. Apparently, it was a big story. She was murdered. Her body was found a couple years ago. Complained she didn't want prayer in our schools. And we said, okay. Then somebody said, you better not read the Bible in school. The Bible says, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, and love your neighbor and yourself. And we said, okay. Then Dr. Benjamin Spock said that we shouldn't spank our kids when they are misbehaving because their little personalities would be warped and that we might damage their self-esteem. Dr. Spock's son committed suicide. We said an expert should know what he's talking about, and we said okay. Now we're asking ourselves why our children have no conscience, why they don't know right from wrong, and why it doesn't bother them to kill strangers, their classmates, and themselves. Probably if we think about it long and hard enough, we can figure it out. I think it has a great deal to do with what we reap what we sow. Funny how simple it is for people to trash God and then wonder why the world's going to hell. Funny how we believe what the newspaper says, but question what the Bible says. Funny how you can send jokes through email and they spread like wildfire, but when you start sending messages regarding the Lord, people think twice about sharing it. Funny how lewd, crude, vulgar, and obscene articles pass freely through cyberspace, but public discussions on God is suppressed in the schools and the workplace. Are you laughing yet? Funny how when you forward this message, you will not send it to many on your address list because you're not sure what they believe and what they will think of you for sending it. Funny how we can be more worried about what others think of us than what God thinks of us. And it goes on to say, pass it on if you think it has merit. If not, just disregard it and no one know who did it. But if you disregard it through this thought process, don't sit back and complain about what bad shape the world is in. Best regards, honestly and respectfully, Ben Stein. So, I'm not trying to force any type of belief on anybody, but the reason I wanted to share this letter with you is because I really appreciated it, because my main goal in life is not only to just get myself to think, but to get other people to think. Just sit back and contemplate some ideas. And I think this was a really good example. Like I said, whether you believe in God or not, at least it'll give you something to think about during the day. So, and even, like I said, even if you don't believe in God, just think about it a little bit. I mean, how much sense does it really make if we've kicked God out of our schools? What's to stop the world from falling into total and complete chaos? I mean, most of us have completely abandoned the idea of God in our lives. And I think it's personally a little sad. But like I said, I'm not trying to force any type of religion. I hate religion. I am completely and utterly against the factioning of religions. More wars have been fought throughout history because of religion than anything else. And it is truly saddening. I mean, what kind of God would want a war and millions of people's lives to be ended in his name? That's not the way I see it. But I am a devout believer in God. Don't believe in factioning religion, though. Organized religion leads to nothing but problems. But, alright, well, I'm going to pretty much end this right now. So, like I said, even if you don't believe in God, just think about what the letter said, it'll give you something to contemplate throughout the day when you're bored just sitting at your office desk trying to work as little as you have to. Alright, now, have yourselves a good day. Stay safe. You'll be hearing from me again. Bye.